Hi everyone, so my name is Timothy Mon and I'm the founder of this company, akeytotraveling. And in this episode, I'm going to show you some more underrated places to go to in Europe. This time I'm in Lugo, and then later in this episode, I'm going to be in Santiago de Compostela. So I hope you enjoy this video, and Viva Galicia!
I made the long journey from Florida over to Galicia, which is located in the northwest corner of Spain, just above Portugal. Galicia is an autonomous community of Spain. But in this episode, I'm going to be focusing more specifically on Lugo and Santiago de Compostela. I took a high-speed train and a bus from Madrid in order to get to Galicia. The next day, I was hungry for some Galician food.
This is Galician octopus. This is very common here in Galicia. In the United States, as you know, we don't really eat octopus, but I love it when I come to Europe, so I'll try it. And this has the spice on it. This looks very good. That was very tender. That was absolutely delicious. So you got to come to Galicia and try this. I wish you guys were here with me, but yeah, that was absolutely delicious. I'll have one of these potatoes too. Very good too. Very hot though.
After finishing the meal with some flan, we decided to go sightseeing.
Okay, so this is the Cathedral of Lugo, the main cathedral here. And in this cathedral, there is also a museum that you have to pay to enter. But I'll tell you a little bit about the history of this. So this was actually finished in 13th century AD, and the construction started about 2 centuries before. I really like these red doors here. Yeah, there's a lot of beautiful cathedrals in general in Spain, but yeah, Galicia has a lot of famous ones, including the one that I'll show you later, which is the one in Santiago de Compostela.
Upon entering the cathedral and making your way to the altar, you'll notice a lot of ornamentation, stained glass, and other decorations. For example, this one is of Thomas Aquinas. This stained glass is of St. Peter the Apostle. Upon making your way to the left side of the church, you'll see this giant altarpiece, which tells the story of part of Jesus' adult life. On the top right, you can see his resurrection, and in the bottom middle, you can see the Last Supper. And finally, on top of this altarpiece, you can see Jesus turning his head towards the good thief, whose name is Saint Dismas, and then on Jesus' left, which would be our right, is the bad thief. You can see the schedule of the museum here. I decided not to go this time because I didn't really have a lot of time in Lugo, so instead we went literally across the street to the House of Mitrio. This was an excavation site of a former Roman house that has been turned into a museum ran by the University of Santiago de Compostela. Here is the dining room. Here are the bedrooms. Heading to the upper floor of the museum, you'll see the remains of 2 individuals who lived in what is now Lugo about 2,000 years ago. And also have a look at these luxury items that they would have had back then. And here are tools and weights and other things that they would have used in their daily lives.
Yeah, so this is the Roman Wall of Lugo, and it was constructed in the 3rd century in order to defend the Roman city known as Lucus Augusti. It's ironic because Galicia gets its name from the Celtic tribe that they were trying to keep out. The Celtic tribe name is the Kalechi, but ironically Galicia is named after them. But yes, this was a Roman construction, and this is a Roman ruins. And my question is, why would you go all the way to the Colosseum and, be surrounded by so many people all the year when you can actually just come here and enjoy this for free with less people? I mean, it's really a beautiful part of human history. It's actually a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And yeah, so you guys should definitely come to Lugo and check this out. It's really cool. Open 24 hours a day.
It was time to take a stroll along the Roman Wall, Along the Roman wall, you can run into murals. This one is of a Roman emperor, for example. And you also get a commanding view of the Galician countryside. And one thing to note about Spain too, especially in the north, I tend to see a lot of these murals. They're not really graffiti, they're more like wall art, but it's just really interesting. Sometimes they'll have like political messages or they'll be about pop culture. So yeah, I don't see this as much in Andalusia or even Madrid for that matter. Madrid's in the center of Spain, by the way. But yeah, this is just something that I've noticed as well here. You see a lot of these different artworks and murals in Galicia. Right now, what I'm showing you guys is a text in Galician, okay? So Galician is the other official language of this autonomous community here in Spain. So Spain has different autonomous communities, which are kind of the equivalent of states in the US. So here in Galicia, there is Galician, which is very closely related to Portuguese. And the way I know that this text is not Portuguese is mainly because of this word here, polo, among other words, but this word gives it away immediately. So in Portuguese, it would actually be spelled P as in Papa, E as in Echo, L as in Lima, and O as in Oscar. So like pelu. But here it's written as polo, and it means for the. And the version in Portuguese also that I just mentioned also means for the. So pelu and polo, different pronunciation, but they mean the same thing. But even to this day, Galician and Portuguese are still highly mutually intelligible, but Galician has a ton of influence from Castilian Spanish. So that's why if you hear Galician, sometimes you may confuse it for Spanish, but rest assured it's actually a different language. And many of the people here are very proud of Galician. Located inside the walls is the city center of Lugo. And this is just an absolutely charming place to be walking through, especially on a Sunday morning. In Spain, I really love these narrow alleyways. There's just a certain charm and feel to them that you don't really get outside of Europe. Y son luces para la Navidad, ¿no? Okay. So a question that I frequently get when it comes to traveling in Europe is, what do you do about laundry? And the answer to that is actually quite simple. So at least here in Spain, when you go to different cities and even small towns, I'm in Lugo, it is not a very big city, but they have an automated laundromat, meaning that it's basically self-service from 8 to like 10 p.m. And the way it works is this. And don't worry if you don't speak Spanish, because you can see that there are instructions in English right here. And really it's like this. So this laundry point, you can go ahead and pay in Euro cash or Euro coins, credit card even. So that's just how you do it. They give you instructions. They already provide the detergent in this one. Some places don't, but they already have it. So I didn't have to use my own detergent. But yeah, you basically load it in, you wait 30 minutes. So you can bring like your phone or your iPod, I don't know, whatever you want to use. And then you can see here, laundry, dryer. That takes a relatively short period of time. If you're going on medium heat, expect to wait about 14 minutes. But if you're going on high heat, it's only 7. And if you go on low heat, it'll probably be almost 30 minutes. But it just depends. And yeah, so if your Airbnb or if your hotel doesn't have any laundry machines, I would not worry about it at all. For the simple reason that in a lot of places, when you go on Apple Maps or Google Maps, you can just type in laundromat near me or laundromat and you'll find a place like this, and voila. Another thing too, folks, is that when you're in Europe, the parking spots here in general are much smaller, especially underground parking spots. I don't think you can quite have a reference for how small these spaces are. Yeah, as you can see, those are the handicap spots, electric vehicles. Yeah, especially if it's full, you're gonna have some very tight turns in here. I'm just warning you right now. So if you're gonna rent a big car while you're here in Galicia, yeah, be careful about that. Oh yeah, and check this out. Sometimes bathrooms in Europe are missing toilet paper. So what I recommend is that you guys bring Kleenex packets in your bag or some other type of tissue that you can also use to wipe, because it sucks. There's not even any paper towels here. Take a look. It's, I'll just slowly turn around in case you don't get motion sick, but yeah, here we go. So as you can see, no paper towels, just the blow dryer, soap, and sink. So yeah, make sure you bring your own toilet paper or tissue or something. Well, it was time for me to depart Lugo and head over to Santiago de Compostela by bus. So I just arrived at Lugo bus station. You can see my two things here. And now I'm waiting to take Mon bus over to Santiago de Compostela. So when it was time, I made my way over to my bus. I hopped on board, relaxed, and enjoyed the beautiful Galician scenery. So I've now left the bus station. You can see it right there, right behind me. Got my stuff. I think I'm gonna go ahead and check in. Also, just a quick shout out to how freaking good the public transit is here in Spain. I mean, taking the high-speed trains, the buses, so far, you know, throughout my life, I've had an amazing experience taking public transit here in Spain. I wish America would have more high-speed rail. It would just be great for certain types of trips and distances. Oh, and another thing, pack lighter than I do, because check this out. I'm having to drag a suitcase uphill for the next couple hundred meters, which is, I don't know, it's like a few hundred feet. So it sucks. Just be aware of that when you come here to Spain. After getting checked into my hotel, I made my way through some beautiful alleyways and squares and finally reached the cathedral. And after listening to the gaita, or Galician bagpipe, for a bit, I finally arrived in the cathedral square in Santiago de Compostela. So I've arrived right in front of the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela, as you can see right there. See the spires, absolutely beautiful, breathtaking. If you can see around me, a lot of people are just relaxing and chilling out, and for a very good reason. They've walked over the course of several days, over 100 miles or 160 kilometers. You know, I don't blame them. I'd be dead exhausted. It's probably not something I could ever do due to my foot issues, but nonetheless, I still wanted to come here and finally visit this cathedral. It's been on my bucket list for a long time, and here I am. I think I'll go ahead and try to go inside. And so another quick history about this cathedral. Was actually completed in the 13th century, similar to what we saw in Lugo. And this is the alleged burial place of St. James the Apostle, one of Jesus's 12 apostles from the Bible. So yeah, this place is absolutely legendary to Roman Catholics. Okay, so I just finished the tower tour here at the Cathedral of Santiago, and I gotta tell you, just fair warning, it's only offered in Spanish as far as I'm aware, which is fine. I understand quite a bit of Spanish. And you're also not allowed to take pictures or videos inside the building unless otherwise specified, but on the exterior you can. And so I've got some amazing footage in this video that I'm about to share. So in this particular tour, I was able to go with a group to walk on the roof of the cathedral and get these spectacular views. Have a look. So right behind where those green doors are is where the portico is. It's called the Portico of Glory. And unfortunately, inside the cathedral, you cannot take any photos or videos at all. They won't even let you lean against the stone. That's how much they want to, I guess, preserve the place. So you'll just have to come here and see it for yourself. But I can tell you, it's just fantastic. It was just unbelievable. I don't know how to describe it. A beautiful spiritual experience. But from the roof, which was totally legal to do, I did manage to get this video of St. James's tomb.
So, if you are ready to book your dream trip to Galicia or to Spain or really anywhere else in the world, I'm here to help you. You can go ahead and send me an email to my professional email found in the About section of this YouTube channel, or you can go to my website and you can hire me there, and I will give you a very reasonable quote. Or if you simply just want to have free content, you are more than welcome to go ahead and subscribe to this channel, share my videos, and help me grow. It's a pleasure making these videos for all of you. I really enjoy this. And yeah, would I recommend Galicia to you? Absolutely. Galicia is just very beautiful, very reasonably priced. Even here in November, the weather is actually quite nice. It hasn't been that cold. And for the next episode, I'm actually going to be going to the south of Spain, in Andalusia, more specifically Sevilla and Ronda. And you will recognize both those places because they are quite iconic. So I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this video. Muchas gracias. Adios. And viva Galicia.